Hello English 101, we're back here with another video. Hopefully at this point you've already read or gone over the Essay 2 prompts, so you'll know already that our Essay 2 is what's called an expository proposal. And now that we're going into our Essay 2 unit, we want to kind of begin to break that down and figure out sort of what that means. So without further ado, let's hop on in here. Remember this is our map of the class. In the middle, we have academic writing. That's the big idea that you want to kind of grasp over the course of this class. We want to develop, as we said, a working definition of what academic writing is. We said, remember, that it's not something you could easily look up in a dictionary and it could be covered in 2 sentences. It's complex. We want to understand it as a framework. So to do so, we want to cover 4 types of writing in this class, and we've already covered 2. We cover reflective in Essay 1, and we covered analytical in Essay 1 as well. Now moving over to Essay 2, we're going to cover expository, as you saw in the title of Essay 2. Argumentative, we're going to say for Essay 3 and the final project. Now, remember we started off over here in reflective, moved over to analytical. We combined types of this writing. We're going to be moving over here now. So, when we first discussed reflective writing, we wanted to say, okay, what are we going to bring over from reflective writing to analytical writing? Remember, Essay 1 was ultimately an analysis, a process narrative analysis. But we wanted to add components of reflective writing to give it a human side and to use personal experience to establish some credibility. All right. So now that we're moving over the map here for Essay 2 from analytical to expository, we're going to want to ask the same type of questions. What from the analytical side are we going to take over to the expository side? What do we take with us from Essay 1? And what might be we leaving behind? That's something for you maybe to keep track of and think about over the course of these slides. All right. This is a slide that is literally copied and pasted from our very first video. It's expectations and standards of academic writing, and this applies obviously for Essay 2 as it did for Essay 1. So let's review. In any sort of academic writing assignment or project, you need to first understand the writing context, which is subject, audience, purpose, and genre. Remember we said genre is already sort of picked out for you, which for this, it's an expository proposal. Subject, as we remember, is what we're writing about. Audience, for who we're writing it for. And purpose, how and why we're going to do it. After we understand all that, we want to understand how the writing context impacts tone and style, meaning the feel or the general sound of our piece. So how do we nail down that feel or that sound that we want? Well, we need to understand what diction or word choice and syntax, or the way we arrange those words into a good sentence, comprises good tone and style. So the tone and style is going to change a little bit from Essay 1 to Essay 2, and so that means your diction and syntax will as well. All right, so let's dive into the expository proposal. What is it? All right, look how I've broken down the 3 parts of the writing context that are pretty much open when it comes to any essay: subject, audience, and purpose. Let's start at the top of the pyramid here with our purpose. Why? How are we going to go about doing this? Well, the main purpose for this essay is to propose. All right, we'll discuss what proposing is here in a second, but first you might be asking, okay, what is it that we're going to be proposing? Well, if you've read the prompt already, you might have got the idea that, well, we're proposing a new class, a new kind of class here at our Bullitt County campus. Who are we proposing that to? All right, we're proposing it to people of influence, people who can actually implement this new class. So we're trying to, again, exert some degree of influence and be able to allow for what we're proposing to actually come to pass and happen. All right, so these are the 3 parts of the writing context that you're going to want to fill out during topic workshop. So how do we go about proposing? What is inside of this proposed purpose that we have to do? There's a 4-step process, really. The first thing we want to do is establish a question to explore. So, ask the question, why should there be this new class? After asking that question, you might have already have an answer popped into your head. Remember, you picked this new idea or this new class for a reason. You obviously have some interest in it. But in order for it to be implemented and proposed to impact, an entire campus community, we have to discuss something called its feasibility, or its plausibility, or how realistic or how possible is this. So to do so, we want to ask why this question needs to be asked. All right, we want to say, okay, how is this feasible? How is this realistic? All right, so to be able to find that out, we have to find research to help explain and analyze its feasibility. Research is going to be the big new thing for Essay 2. doing research in an academic setting. You're not going to be allowed just to use your own personal experience anymore to support your thesis. So you're going to want to find research to help explain and analyze its feasibility. So after you've proved its feasibility, then you're going to want to offer a plan of implementation, answering the question, basically, how can it be done? If you kind of step back and think about this, remember the four-step process we use to develop ideas in our essays. Name it, explain it, prove it, and conclude it. Take a look at our 4 circles right here. Establish a question to explore. Name it. What is it that we're exploring? Ask why this question needs to be asked, looking at its feasibility. Explaining it, explaining why we need to be considering this. Finding research to explain and analyze its feasibility, that's proving it, using outside information to help prove why this is feasible, and then concluding it by offering a plan of implementation. So you may have noticed that I bolded in the last slide the words explaining and analyzing. Those were 2 of the purposes that we had in Essay 1, to explain, to analyze, along with 2 and 4. So I think that's the first hint as to what the link between Essay 1 and Essay 2 is. We're analyzing in both of them, but this time we're analyzing to propose. Take a look at the Venn diagram below. In Essay 1, we analyzed to show each step's importance to the overall process. We kind of narrated and described that. All right, we wanted to show how each step led us toward the finished product. We were trying to show why it was important, using analysis to create that sense of cohesion. In Essay 2, our analysis has a different goal. All right, we are still analyzing, but we're analyzing to explore the possibility of something happening and suggest a plan to allow that to happen. Our goal and our objective at the end has changed. So instead of narrating and describing, our analysis is going to be more focused around problem solution. However, both of the essays share a similarity in how they use their analysis. Both are analyzing to explain how and why, showing cause and effect. In Essay 1, you said, because you go through this step, you get to this level of the process, or you attain this finished product. In Essay 2, you're going to show, again, how certain pieces of evidence that you find through research make the class that you're proposing feasible. So, to step back, what we're taking from Essay 1 to Essay 2 and what we're leaving behind. Our purposes that we're taking from Essay 1 to Essay 2 are to inform, to explain, and to analyze. So we're going to be doing informing, explaining, and analyzing in Essay 2 and Essay 3, and in probably just about any college essay you write. However, we're leaving behind the purpose of reflection. So there's not going to be a lot of reflecting upon our own personal opinion. That's not really going to matter too much in this essay. So there's going to be no I, no first-person pronouns, along with no second-person pronouns. You'll have a focus in specific subject and audience like you did in Essay 1 and Essay 2. Again, that's another thing that's going to be in any paper you write in college. But you're going to leave behind a subject that you have a lot of prior expertise with and an audience without influence. This subject you're going to have to kind of dig and scratch and learn a little bit about. And again, your audience is going to have influence. You're going to want to convince them, and you're going to want to some degree impress them with your level of knowledge. From Essay 1 to Essay 2, we're obviously going to need an understanding of context surrounding the issue as a means of establishing credibility. So you're still going to have to, again, be familiar with what's up with your issue today. All right. However, but you can't use personal experience as a means of establishing credibility. All right. Again, this essay is not going to be about your opinion. It's about feasibility. It's about facts. All right. Is this class feasible? Is this possible? Does it fit? All right. So personal experience is going to be something that's going to be left behind. Last, from Essay 1 to Essay 2, we're going to be analyzing to explain how and why something should happen. Again, this essay takes action. All right. Our last essay took action a little bit by offering a call to action at the end, or by talking about the personal gain and value. But this time we're going to leave behind just analyzing to show importance. Remember, our last essay sort of lightly suggested action. This time we're going to be more involved with taking action. So we've kind of learned the basics of expository proposal, you know, how it works, what it involves, what we're taking from Essay 1 to Essay 2. So now I think it's really important to ask the question, why are we doing this? Why did you assign us this essay? Well, there's many reasons. Hopefully some of them that you've already deduced, but let's hit up a few. All right. To be able to develop an idea by examining its plausibility, it's very important to be able to, you know, when you come up with an idea in whatever setting, to be able to say, hey, is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Is it quality? Is it plausible? Is it realistic? Does it fit what I'm trying to do? All right. Developing ideas and implementing ideas isn't something exclusive to English class or even developing a new class in the college. It's something that you're going to be using in all your classes in, you know, many sort of job settings where you have to maybe come up with something new to be creative. To be able to find and evaluate evidence that may support an idea. So whenever you need to support that idea or prove its plausibility, you need the ability to be able to find evidence and to be able to evaluate that evidence as well. We want to be able also to use said evidence to support that idea. It's one thing to find the evidence and know that it's good evidence, but you have to be able to articulate it in a right way. You have to be able to express it, and to be able to present the idea to an audience with the power to implement it. This is a really relevant part because many times, you'll be proposing maybe not just ideas, but your own, worth in things like scholarship essays, cover letters to businesses, things like that. Your audience in those settings, people who decide, who gets a scholarship or people who decide who becomes an employee or gets a job, they're going to have the power to say that, hey, this person's feasible. We want to accept this person. We want this person in our program. We want this person working in our business or in our job. So you want to be able to not just know whether an idea is plausible or know how to find evidence, but you want to be able to present it right. That goes beyond just presenting an idea. It really applies to being able to present yourself as a quality person for a scholarship program, a job, or anything similar to that. And last, to assess the quality of ideas. All right, if you're ever in a position where you have to, pick, a certain idea to implement in a program or to solve a problem, many times there won't just be a clear idea that presents itself as the best solution. You'll have to kind of compare and contrast and assess different ideas to say which one is the best. This process of doing your expository proposal is supposed to help you assess the quality of ideas. Know what a good fitting idea is versus one that maybe doesn't fit as much. Here's a list of questions you might be asking if you're interested in finding topics for the class. I'll go through these real quick. What academic disciplines are not offered on this campus? On this campus, we offer academic disciplines such as English, psychology, humanities, history, math, sociology, biology, but there are many others that are not. So you might think about what academic disciplines that you could propose to offer in your essay. What advanced classes could be brought to this campus from academic disciplines that are already offered? Currently, English, for example, offers English 101, English 102, and English 207, Business and Technical Writing, which is only a small bit of the many classes that JCTC and KCTCS offers for English. The same goes with other disciplines such as psych, humanities, history, math, sociology, biology. So, what other advanced classes that we do not offer could be offered in your proposal? What kind of classes could be offered on this campus? Think about online sections that are currently unoffered, or maybe some non-hybrid sections of certain courses. And last, what kind of technical courses could be feasibly brought to this campus? This is a bit more of a difficult question because technical courses require people who are specifically trained as well as certain types of equipment. So be sure that if you're trying to offer a technical course, it is feasible to be brought to this specific campus. All right, guys, I believe that's it for this. Again, please read the Essay 2 prompt if you have not yet. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, rran0001@kctcs.edu. Looking forward to seeing what you guys got for this essay. Thanks a lot. Good luck.